Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to the SINOC Online Enterprise Development Program. We are very sorry we had started earlier, but we are now back. We had some network glitches, but I promise that whatever was taught in the very first few minutes will be repeated again. So I welcome you back. For those that are joining us via Vector Energies on X, Vector Energies on YouTube, and those that are following us via Vector Energies on Facebook, we welcome you back. Today is our second day, as we earlier promised, that we will always be here from 8 to midday. Those are just 3 hours of serious learning and engagement with you. Today we are here once again with Mr. Senoga Robert. These people normally call themselves CPA, things of that kind that I don't really know very well. Yesterday we had some good session, a session that had issues like business auditing. We had filing returns. We learned about financial management, and we also learned about the Income Tax Amendment 2025. And I am very sure many of you understood quite a number of issues when it comes to filing returns, about the tax amendments, and the financial management. And here today we come again with something fresh, a very fresh topic, very educative and a very informative topic that will help you grow your business. Big thanks to our sponsor, SINOC Uganda, and we also thank Vector Energies, the implementing agency that is really making sure everything goes on as planned. I take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Senoga Robert, CPA, to take us through our topics of today. You said, how many topics are we having today?
We are just 4 topics.
4 topics. Yeah. The first topic?
The first topic is working capital management.
Then the second?
Business and personal finances.
Then the third?
The third one is tax planning.
And then the last one?
Common mistakes SMEs do when filing tax.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I hope you be here with us because I don't think you need to miss to hear about the common mistakes that many of you make when it comes to business. So just stay tuned here. You don't have to miss the common mistake, because I know very many of you out there want to know the common mistakes that you normally make when it comes to business. So keep watching, keep waiting till our last topic. So I welcome you, Mr. Senoga. You can take on the audience.
Thank you so much, Michael. This is our second day, and this day we are really touching the practical bit of business. From we are getting out of the theoretical perspective to the practical perspective. Having worked in this field for a while, I really feel much of our knowledge is left. Much of our knowledge is left untapped, and I think making it more practical, really, as I have told you, we are going to work on. We are going to look at working capital management, separation of personal and business finances, tax planning, and common tax mistakes SMEs make. So we shall go straight to working capital management. Basically, working capital is all about managing your short-term assets and liabilities. So basically, that's it. It is about balancing your assets and liabilities. So when liabilities exceed assets, you are in a negative working capital position, and it is not good for the business. The same applies when you have a lot of cash in the business. That means you have a lot of idle cash. So we are going to expound on how to manage those two uh, those two scenarios, the current assets and current liability. Yeah, so why is working capital management important? It ensures liquidity. The liquidity, I mean the amount of cash you have in the business. Then operational effectiveness. When you manage both your current assets and current liabilities well, your operation will be efficient and your business will grow. And also you are well assured of profitability. And the good thing with working capital, this is something we deal with on a daily basis as a business, and it is too important for SMEs. So it helps business manage cash flows, meet short-term obligations, and avoid financial distress. It is important that you balance that equation. Why is working capital important? Effective working capital management allows business to maintain smooth operations. You are sure there's no disturbance in your operations because you already have the cash to operate and other such assets. You are ensured of profitability since you are in control of whatever you're doing, and it prevents cash shortages, because cash shortages are the ones that disturb mainly businesses. Yeah, so we shall drill more now into the definitions. We are talking about working capital management, but now what is working capital? This is basically a difference between your current assets and current liabilities. If you want to know your working capital position, just get your current assets, less of your current liabilities. What are the components of working capital? As I have been talking from the beginning, this involves current assets, that is cash. People who don't know cash, you can check your bank accounts, check in your pocket, check your mobile money balance, all that constitutes cash. Then receivable, this is money you expect to get from your clients. So this is very important because it basically this current assets is returned into cash. Then inventory, if you are in the business of stock or in a manufacturing space, inventory is key, and it is a very wide topic for people in the manufacturing. This inventory, it can lead to having a lot of stock or loss of business in case it goes down. So you have to balance that minimum level depending on the experience you have as a business and short-term investment. So that is what constitutes the positive part of working capital. Then we have current liabilities. These include accounts payables. This is the amount of money. This is the amount of money you are expected to pay your suppliers. It contains short-term debt, accrued expenses, and other short-term obligations. So the first one, current assets minus current liabilities, will automatically give you your working capital position. Yeah, just like any concept, working capital has the following advantages for SMEs. It ensures businesses can meet their short-term financial obligations, helps maintain smooth operations without interruptions, because when you don't have money, you just like you as an individual, when you don't have money, you can even get sick. So the same applies to business. A business should have money at hand to ensure continuity and smooth operations. Then also it protects against financial crises. Yeah, so what are the techniques and best what are techniques and we have Yes, we have strategies that we can use to manage working capital. One of them is being a conservative strategy. In this strategy, you maintain high levels of current assets to ensure liquidity. This is low risk, but it can lead to low returns due to the fact that you have a lot of assets on disposal that are idle. Then, number two is an aggressive strategy. This is when you minimize current assets and maximize short-term liabilities. So this is where you find you have a lot of so much from payables and other loans. So this is high risk, but it can offer high returns if managed effectively. Then the third strategy is a moderate strategy. So here you play a balance between aggressive and conservative strategy. This is the best, depending, because you can change, especially for businesses that have cyclic situations, like businesses that sell in certain periods. For example, when children are going back to school in the festive season, all those. So you have to choose between conservative, aggressive, and moderate strategy, depending on what you want to achieve. Techniques of cash over working capital management. One, cash flow forecasts. You have to predict your future inflows and outflows to ensure liquidity. So here, what are we saying? You have to detail the amount of money you expect to get from maybe clients and loans, and the amount of money you expect to pay, so that you don't get panic at the end of the day. Then two, you should have cash buffers. Cash buffers is just a maintenance of cash at source to avoid liquidity shortfall. So here you have some cash held somewhere. So these are for individuals, these include money stored in banks and all that. So you should have cash buffers. Then you have to speed up your cash collection, accelerate cash collection of receivable to free up cash, and then cash disbursement. Manage payment terms to extend payables without damaging supply relationships. So suppliers that are soft, you delay their payment, and those that really want money, you give them, so that you don't damage your relationship with suppliers. So as I've been telling you, we have current assets and current liabilities. So here, how do we manage a current asset called inventory? So inventory is a key working capital ingredient, especially if you're in a manufacturing entity or dealing in merchandise or trade. So what are some of the efficient ways on how you can manage your stock levels? One is using just-in-time. Just-in-time is you order goods when they are needed. So this is a strategy that's used for people who are near their suppliers, and I think this happens more in town. If you go to buy something and someone doesn't have it, they cross to another shop and then they get it. So they're applying that just-in-time technique. So as a business, also borrow it and use it in your business operations. Then we have inventory turnover ratios. This track efficiency at which inventory is sold and replaced. So these ratios can show you. So now this goes back to the topics we had in the day one, that are financial management. So here, if you track your commodities and everything, you can easily track your ratios. So you can use ABC analysis. Finally, you can use automated systems. So in case your inventory goes down, you are alerted. Another ingredient on working capital is receivable, and this is money you expect from customers, and it is therefore an asset. How do we optimally manage the amount we expect to receive from customers? A, have a credit policy. As I told you, documentation is key. Please come up with the credit policy, setting terms, which people should we borrow and at what percentage, so to avoid getting working capital problems. Have collection procedures, establish collection procedures, so that you can know when to collect, how to collect, and what you do in case someone goes overdue. Then introduce discounts for earlier payments. Offer discounts to customers who pay you on time, so that you can reserve the money to run your business. Then avoid bad debts. Set aside provision for potential bad debts so that you can protect against losses. So if you're expecting 20 million, don't budget for all the 20. You make a provision that at least maybe 2 million will not come through, so that you can easily manage your working capital efficiently. Then on the liability side, the major ingredient in working capital is account payable. So what do we do here? Seek for extended payment terms. Negotiate with suppliers so that they can give you longer terms, so that you can balance your receivables with payables. Then supplier relationships. Have a good relationship with your suppliers. Then in case you have some idle cash, utilize earlier payment discounts so that your receivables can reduce. So that is also that's also one of the ingredients of working capital management. Yeah, so we go to what we call the working capital cycle. What is this? This is the time it takes for a company to convert its current assets back into cash. Okay, this is the time you take to sell off your inventory so that you can get cash, or the amount of time you take to receive your receivables. So basically, the engine of working capital is current assets. These have to be taken good care of. So basically, that is the working. It has a formula. Working capital cycle is days inventory outstanding plus days sales outstanding minus days payable outstanding. So the cycle is important to understand. Understanding the cycle helps you to manage. It helps a business to manage cash flow and plan for potential shortfalls. Accountants always have ratios. So some of the major ratios for working capital, if you want to test your level of working capital, we have a current ratio. This is just a normal ratio where you divide your current assets over current liabilities. So that will give you your strengths. Then we have quick ratio or acidity test. So although the word acid appears there, it is not this one that chemists use, but here you get your current assets, you less off inventory over current liabilities. Then another ratio is cash conversion. By the way, this ratio is one of the ratios that are very key, but they are not so cash conversion measures how long it takes to convert investment into inventory back to cash. Yeah, if you don't properly manage your working capital, what happens? We have what we call operational consequences. You get cash shortages, leading to inability to meet short-term obligations. Hence, your suppliers will get difficulties, your employees will strike, all that. So this is something that is really important. Working capital has to be properly managed. Then if you are in production or service, you will delay giving services to supply or production. Then the third and final risk is increased borrowing and then higher likelihood of insolvency. The more you borrow,
the more likely that you will not pay your loans. Then we have financial consequences. These include reduced profitability due to inefficient use of working capital, low return on assets, and damages to creditworthiness and supplier relationships. Yeah, so those are the disadvantages of not so what are the solutions? Just like anything, it has there are solutions such as improved forecasting. Make sure you make accurate forecasting. You forecast accurately so that your working capital is taken care of. Ensure cash collection. So there has to be a mechanism of collecting money, whichever money you demand from your customers. Then optimize inventory levels, maintain a balanced inventory to avoid overstocking or stockouts. So here you are providing solution to cash working capital management problems. Negotiate with supplier, negotiate with them. So you get suppliers that give you extended periods. Then regularly review your finance records. Yeah, thank you so much. If there are any questions, kindly forward them.
I think since we have taken some time to start, I think we will get all your questions at once and they will be responded to after all the
first line.
Keep writing down your questions, keep sending in your comments on our YouTube channel at Vector Energy, keep sending in your comments on Twitter, keep sending in your comments on Facebook, and we shall read all those. Second topic. Then after the second topic, we will at least answer a few questions.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. So
then the next topic is a very simple topic but important: separating your personal and business finances. Separating personal and business finances. So here, what are we saying? Money for business is not yours. It has to be entirely separated from your personal needs, and this is a major mistake that SMEs face, or do knowingly or unknowingly. So what is it we are talking about? So before we proceed, we have to first know what is personal finance. This is your personal income, expenses, and saving for family needs and personal goals. So like money you use at home, money for paying your children's school fees, giving to your wife or wives, catering for personal needs, that is personal finance. And that personal finance, it is important that is separated from business. How? This in budgeting, by using budgets, debt management, and personal investments. Okay. Then business finance, this is managing the financial activities of your business, including revenues, expenses, taxes, and investments. So what are we saying here? That your personal needs should not come into your business financial needs. If you want money from your business, get a salary or a loan from your business and let it be properly documented. Yeah, why should we separate this? One, for legal protection. If you do the separation, you safeguard personal assets from business risks. Otherwise, when you intermingle the two, they can easily be swept by business problems. So it is important that you separate your personal finances from business finances, okay? Then we have tax compliance issues. It simplifies tax filing and minimizes business deductions. I think SME owners would bear me witness. They always have problems with the taxman. I was interacting with one of the business owners, and it was like, why doesn't URA allow the school fees I pay for my children? Doesn't it want my children to go to school? So your school fees is personal business that has to be separated. Yeah, then professionalism. It brings about professionalism when you separate your business from yeah, key reasons for separation. One is improved financial clarity. It helps to track business performance and expenses. So you know how much came in from the business and how much was spent. It avoids legal issues. If you use limited liability protection, if you open up a company, chances are you will survive. Then it simplifies tax filing. Then it provides easy access to funding to funding, because these are separated. Yeah. Proceed. Yeah. Common signs. Someone may ask, how do I know that I'm mixing these? What do you mean? So, what are the signs? These are signs that show you are mixing the two. One, using personal bank accounts for business, income, or purchases. Yeah, if you mix your personal bank accounts for business, just to know you are in the game. Paying suppliers or employees from your personal funds, the same applies to it. Taking out money out of the business randomly, okay? Using personal mobile money or wallet for sales transactions. These all show you are mixing. You are unknowingly you are mixing personal and business finance. And then filing combined personal and business receipts. Those all show that you are mixing these two. So let me repeat again. The signs is one, using personal bank accounts for business income, paying suppliers or employees from your personal funds, taking money out of the business at random, using personal mobile numbers or wallet for sales transaction, and filing combined personal and business receipts. Like you go out and eat food, you bring receipts. That is all mixing. You are mixing either knowingly or unknowingly. So, how do we start separating? Yeah, okay. I've known now from maybe this training, all signs show that I have been mixing. How do I separate? First and foremost, open up a business bank account. Separate credits and payment platforms. Track incomes and expenses separately. Then create a payment structure. And then finally, do record keeping and bookkeeping. So by those, you are separating those two finances. Yeah, what are the common mistakes we do when we are what are common mistakes we do when you're managing personal and business finances? Ignoring minor purchases, Like you go to your business, then they tell you want airtime, you pay. We want stationery, you pay. Maybe Yaka is off. That is all you are mixing, personal and business income. Let the business pay for itself, or lend it so that it can pay you back your money, so that you can use it for personal other than mixing. Using cash for everything without records. That is also a common mistake. Then failing to formalize your salary or drawings. Like many people have businesses, but they don't get any salary. So how do you survive? So that is a mistake. Non-separating mobile wallets, that is a mistake. And laying to open up your business account. So we encourage that you go and open up a business accounts. Yeah, what are the action plans? Starting from today, list all your business income and expenses. With that, we have started on the journey of separation. Okay? Open a dedicated bank account. I repeat, do that. Then separate mobile money lines. Since we are now in the digital era and mobile money has made life easy, have one for the business and one for your personal needs. Then set up a record keeping system and then start tracking transactions on a weekly. Yeah, thank you so much, Michael, for your time, and viewers for listening in.
Ladies and gentlemen, hope you are out there following our live stream on digital energies at our YouTube channel at Vesta Energies. We have all at least heard from Mr. Robert, and he has been teaching us about quite a lot when it comes to taxes and paying returns. Since yesterday, we've been in this thing called taxation, business management, and right here today, at least we have also got some insights about how you have to manage your capital, and right here he has also been talking about separating your personal finances from the finances that are supposed to be in your business. So a few of you have sent in your questions and your comments, and topic. Let's start with the very first topic. We have someone here because they really want to understand working capital properly. Working capital properly. Here, there is a question here from someone, and it's like, what strategies can businesses use to manage working capital effectively? I think you will answer one. Then
Yeah, so one of the strategies they can use is properly managing cash flow management. Ensure money to run the business. Manage well your receivables. Well, let your clients pay on time, and have credit policy in case you have clients, you have credit clients. Then there is a inventory. Make sure your inventory is not too much and not too little, because they are all problems. Yeah, so those are some of the strategies that we can use, and also we can use getting credit from favorable lending institutions.
Okay, then what are the components of working capital? Someone wants to know the components of working capital.
Yeah, basically working capital is the difference between current assets and current liabilities. So the current liabilities, we have the current assets, we have cash, receivable, inventory, and short-term investments. Then liabilities, we have the major one is payable, and maybe supplier, short-term supplier credit. So working capital is just that equation, like how much net current assets do I have? So basically, those are the ingredients of working capital.
I think you are really explaining these terms very well, but I think they are very complex. You might be explaining them in a very technical way. And one of these people following says that he's not a student of CPA, is not a student of accounting. So he really wants to understand these things very well. And is having a question here.
Sure.
How can businesses use cash flow forecasting to manage working capital?
A cash flow forecasting, how do I say in normal
non-CPA language? Forecasting is a projection or mirroring what you expect to get vis-a-vis what you expect to pay out as expenses. Okay, so cash flow forecasting, here we look at cash sales for the inflows, credit sales, and money you expect to get from receivables, and then also interest from short-term investment. Then you less off what you expect to pay, such as salaries and all those other expenses. So forecasting is just coming up with a projection of what you expect to get and spend, so that you don't go in a deficit. So in case, forecasting works hand in hand with the other strategies I was talking about, the aggressive, the conservative, and the moderate. So it's more of a forecasting. And big companies, for them, they forecast on a weekly basis, monthly, annually, and then make strategic plans. So basically forecasting is all about that.
So how does the working capital impact the cash flow in a business?
Working capital is the lifeblood of a business. Now just imagine you have employees and you don't have money to pay them as salaries. What will happen? They will not work, they will strike, and those that work are not motivated. So it is just a life. So in simple terms, working capital is like, if you buy a car, it is prudent that you have money to buy fuel, to fuel the engine of the vehicle called business. So working capital fuels the car called business. So it makes it run on a daily basis.
Okay. Then
There is another question here. What are some of the best practices for working capital management?
I think those ones we had answered there. One is
It's working capital is the best strategy is minimizing and maximizing on the current assets and current liabilities. Basically that. Let's not use too much technicalities here. So you have to balance. For example, if you are in the business that has high volume sales towards December, as a business, you have to budget for having a lot of stock in that period. And you have to make sure that the stock you have, it will be offloaded by January when that period goes off. So basically you have to look at your business and see how best I can manage cash. And remember, if you don't properly manage your working capital, chances are that your business will not grow or will not go anywhere. Yes.
okay. Now let's talk
About You know, in any business and for anyone to have a proper, good business, you always have to monitor and evaluate. How do they monitor and evaluate capital money, like the performance of capital?
Yeah, so from today, you just go.
You get all your current assets. You less of your current liabilities. By current assets, I'm meaning money. Okay, money I have in hand and money I'm expecting, vis-a-vis money I'm expected to spend. Okay? That's after passing that simple test, you can go to ratio analysis. Those ratios I've been talking about, the current ratio, acidity test ratio, cash conversion ratios, all those ones will tell you your cash, your working capital position. Yeah.
Do we also have, how do they call it, something like...
Do we have common working mistakes for working capital? The common mistakes?
Yes.
Like?
Yes. For example,
If your expenses exceed the money you expect to get from sales or the money you have at hand, that is a big mistake. So you find someone hires, your business can pay employees up to a tune of 1 million. Then you hire employees of 4 million. That is a mistake. Okay? Then having too much cash, again also having too much cash seated on company bank accounts, those are all mistakes that we do in working capital. Basically, working capital is money you have or expect to be converted in a short period of time.
So you mean when I have a working capital of
50 million. And I am renting on a building of 30 million a month, I'm not in business.
Yeah, you're not in business.
Okay.
Where? Because let's assume you are renting and maybe you are in the stock business, a business that needs stock. That means you are only left with 20 million to buy stock. Okay? Yeah, so that's it.
And now let's talk to the local SMEs. When we are talking about working capital, like for example, for you who has done accounts and all that, like let's talk about businesses like these vendors. What do you think should be their working capital for someone selling tomatoes on a street? Let's just talk about the street.
I think
it should not exceed 50,000.
50,000.
Yeah.
That should be the working capital.
Yes, the working capital. So at any point in time, so what I mean by working capital, at any point in time, that trader should have is 50K either available in inventory or now converted into cash. Then they can take off the rest of the balance on that 50.
So are there options for financing
Working capital?
Yes.
Like which ones exactly?
yes. Soft loans, short-term loans.
Increased cash collections, okay? Encouraging cash sales, all those are. Yeah.
So it is very advisable that I can finance my working
In capital with a loan, just a soft loan.
A soft loan.
Okay, so what do you mean when you talk about soft loan?
Only when you are sure of collection from your receivables, when you expect your customers to pay you.
When you talk about soft loans, what are you trying to say?
These are basically loans below, with a repayment period below 12 months. Yeah, those are soft loans.
Then we have also hard loans, because we are talking about soft loans and long-term loans.
Yes.
So now these people who are vending these ladies that we see downtown there on the streets, can they also use the soft loans to
Yeah,
finance
sure.
their
They use
working
them too
capital?
much.
Yeah, they use them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Someone gets a loan, a soft loan, to start up a business of chapati, a business of selling tomatoes around. So it is very advisable.
Yeah, but not for starting up a business, for
Financing.
financing. Otherwise, if you borrow to start a business, problems.
Okay.
You are sitting on fire.
Then how can businesses determine the best financing option? How can they determine the best financing option? Are there very many options that they can look at and then select?
Yeah, there are so many available options. Because for example, soft loans, there are banks that give those loans, there are money lenders. So you have to weigh the risks before incurring those loans.
Okay. Then we have some questions that was about working capital, and some people here also have their questions about separating working. Is it separating personal finances and business finances? And someone here is asking, what are the benefits of maintaining separate bank accounts for personal and business use?
It has a legal advantage, especially I think if you've ever gotten any tax queries, the taxman will always ask you for a bank account.
That is what they are looking for, to see how much money is coming in through this
Bank account and how much is being spent through the bank account.
So you mean, if the taxman finds out that I have 500 million on my account coming in, and yet from my business I have only received like over 30 million on my account, the taxman will tax the 500,
Yes.
because I'm using the same account.
It is money coming in, it is income. For them, what they do, they look at the bank account. Whatever came in, pay.
So I think that is a very good reason as why someone has to separate these accounts, so that the other money, personal money, goes on some other account, and then the business money comes on the business account, to avoid the taxman from hunting you.
Yes, and then too, if you mix personal expenses
and business expenses, the taxman
only allows business expenses.
Those are the assessments you see that the
Taxman will just go back and reverse everything and tell you pay, because you are mixing personal and business expenses. So it is something that is too important, and this SMEs that are working here should take
good care of. Don't mix.
Are there some steps
That anyone in business can consider to separate the two?
No, like if you start a business, you have to separate.
Immediately.
Separate the two as soon as possible.
Yeah, because that is something that
That is why you see some businesses kill their owners because of that intermingling. As the business is going down, even the livelihood is going down.
Okay. So what are some of the common challenges businesses face when trying to separate personal and business finances?
Mixing inflows, mixing money that is coming in. Yeah, if you fail to mix, if you fail to separate your personal and business income, like if you sell land, you put in the business. You do whatever, you get your other income, you put in the business. Time will come when it is hard to separate, to detach from the business. So it is a detaching mechanism.
Then someone has asked me a question in line with the tax
And legal implication. And what are the tax implications of not separating personal business? I think we've touched that.
We shall discuss that in the common mistakes.
Okay, and then how can separating personal businesses help in tax preparation and audit?
We shall talk about
It's also in the other topic.
Those are some of the common mistakes.
Are there any legal requirements or best practices for maintaining separate personal and business financial?
Yeah, that is it. Because
In accounting, we have a concept it's called business entity concept. Money for business should be for business, and personal money should be personal money.
But sometimes people think it is all my money.
It's not your money.
Okay.
Because if it is a company, by the way, a company
can even sue its directors or owners.
You can sue yourself
Yes, it can sue you. Not yourself, a business can sue you.
because it is my business.
Yeah, it is, but because
it is an individual or a person. So if you disturb its rights, it can sue you.
So,
So those two are totally different. You and your business, you're not the same.
Okay. So how often should business owners review their financial records to ensure separation is maintained?
We recommend once a month, but if you can't, you don't exceed 3 months.
you do it
quarter.
yourself or
It also requires auditors.
No, you do it yourself. Some of these basic, that is why we are here to impart some basic financial management or accounting knowledge into our clients. But honestly, you can know that I'm mixing with those indicators I gave you.
So that means all these businesses need like some accountants and professional accountants and the auditors for them to know about the like these lessons. Because I think if you don't have someone professional, you can end up mixing the two.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It is recommended, and by the way, even you are a start lead. As long as your revenue is above 500 million, you need an accountant to file your returns.
Is it a must?
Yeah, it is a must.
Then that means revenue one accountant.
I think so. I'm not so certain.
It is creating jobs for accountants.
No, but jobs have always been there. So I think revenue wants to hold people accountable that know what they have done.
so, ladies and gentlemen,
Out there, I know you have businesses. Some of you have very many businesses. You have a tomato business, you have a beer business, you have a meat business, because we have to separate this meat. Beef, you have a pork business. Are you really getting all this money and putting it on the same account? Do you know the impact of like saving all your money from all the different businesses on one account? As you normally say, it is my business and it is my money. Do you know that it can easily lead you to losses when you mix all businesses and you're using the same account? So here, Mr. Robert is trying to say that we need to separate our business accounts. Have an account for the tomatoes, have an account for the pork business, have an account for the bar, so that it is easy for you to know where you have achieved, where you have made losses, and it also helps you to avoid having issues with the taxman, because as Mr. Robert said, when this taxman comes, the taxman will look at all the money that is on your account and will tax it accordingly. So if you have the 700 million on your account, the taxman will not mind where this money has come from, whether it's from your casino, from your betting. The taxman will just chop his cut and you will remain with the balance. So it is the reason as why they are trying to tell you, please separate your personal finances from your business finances. And in the working capital management, we have learned quite a lot. I have picked lessons as me, who is in some small business out there. I've learned that the working capital that I have to use it sparingly to do business and make sure it really helps me. And I now know where to get some money to finance my what? My capital. And you don't just have to get money from anywhere. You don't just have to get any amounts of money to finance your business, but you have to know that the money that I'm getting is financing this, and I'll be achieving and also getting like some good money out of the business that I am really getting finances for. Because you can't just get money and finance a business that will not give you interest and what. So you just have to get finances to finance a business that will really help you benefit and get some interest, because we are all in business to get money. So make sure whatever you do, you are in business to get money. And it is the reason as why CNOC has really sponsored this online enterprise development program for you out there, for you Ugandans to learn to pick something and have good business, because this is a program that is for everyone, for all Ugandans, and not only Ugandans, since CNOC is a multinational. It is for everyone, however is online, however is on following on our YouTube channel at Vector Energies, however is on Twitter at Vector Energies, and however is on Facebook at Vector Energies. I encourage you to share the link so that everyone out there benefits from this engagement. We are still here with Mr. Robert Senoga, and he will be taking us through some other topics in our second session. We will just go for a very quick break of about 2 minutes, then we will be back after the short break.
The Kingfisher oil fields development has evolved, reaching some significant milestones after CNOC Uganda Limited and its joint venture partners signed the final investment decision. Land for the construction of different facilities was acquired and compensation was fully made. Cash and in-kind compensation, like resettlement houses for all families, were built and handed over to the project-affected persons. Construction commenced for different aspects of the project, leading to the development of facilities such as the camps, well pads, the central processing facility, and feeder lines, followed by the delivery of the rigs and installation. Spudding was done in January 2023. There have been promising drilling outcomes, with 7 wells drilled in pads 2 and 3. Drilling operations, coring and on-site works are continuing, achieving total footage of approximately 23,000 meters. Other noticeable activities include a base station and permanent camp, solar turbine transportation, EPC 3-tank erection work, and EPC 4 pipeline trenching. CNOC will actively promote the LPG integration plan, which will gradually achieve the strategic transformation towards a green and low-carbon energy supplier. A camp integrated hydropower project has been set up, which will result in carbon dioxide emission reduction by 3,156 tons. CNOC has continued to contribute to the Belt and Road, people-to-people exchanges, enhancing China-Africa friendship and promoting the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. CNOC collaborates with various Ugandan universities to enhance graduate employment curriculum design and research. We have signed agreements with several institutions to support scientific research and develop talents in the oil and gas sector. CNOC, in collaboration with 5 other Chinese companies on the Kingfisher project, spearheaded a drive that led to the donation of $500,000 to upgrade the infrastructure of the Entebbe Welfare School. This is the largest donation to education in Uganda.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sport, I would like to extend my gratitude to CNOC Uganda Limited and the contractors of Kingfisher Oil Fields for your commitment to the cause of vulnerable and challenged children.
CNOC sponsors international scholarships, sending Ugandan students to study in China. Under this program, a total of 11 students have been sponsored and 8 have since graduated and are currently working in the oil and gas industry.
This scholarship to me is a dream come true. I always wanted to receive a first-class education from a good school, and CNOC has provided me with this opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
CNOC focuses on training and certification programs for skills needed in the oil and gas industry, which promotes local employment and strengthens Uganda's logistics and industrial capacity. Over 150 contractors and more than 3,000 individuals have been trained in various oil and gas skills. The company collaborates with local vocational schools to provide welder training, significantly contributing to Uganda's professional welding sector.
They took the initiative to sponsor us who are underdogs, and they want to put us somewhere. We thank them a lot. There's nothing much we can give them, but maybe use the skills properly so that they can also feel they have done some impact in the Uganda we have now.
SINOC Youth Employment Support Program has trained over 350 local youths in various vocational skills, improving their employability and living conditions. These trainings cover welding, heavy truck driving, heavy machinery operation, engineering construction, and other skills needed in the oil and gas field development, as well as driving, tailoring, and hairdressing, among others. SINOC invests in projects to improve community living standards, such as providing clean drinking water to over 13,000 residents in Buhuka flats, carrying out medical camps and building resettlement houses with modern amenities for 56 households. We have also invested $620,000 in maintaining critical roads and enhancing public safety. Livelihood restoration programs include donating livestock and teaching scientific breeding methods. We also work closely with the Confucius Institute of Makerere University, supporting events like the Chinese Bridge Competition and the Sound in My Heart Chinese Song Competition. SINOC also organizes activities to celebrate Chinese culture, such as the Spring Festival. These efforts enrich cultural communication and foster mutual understanding between China and Uganda.
SINOC Uganda Limited is committed to education and capacity building to fulfill its vision of energy for Uganda.
The Kingfisher oil fields development has evolved, reaching some significant milestones after SINOC Uganda Limited and its joint venture partners signed the final investment decision. Land for the construction of different facilities was acquired and compensation was fully made. Cash and in-kind compensation, like resettlement houses for all families, were built and handed over to the project-affected persons. Construction commenced for different aspects of the project, leading to the development of facilities such as the camps, well pads, the central processing facility, and feeder lines, followed by the delivery of the rigs and installation. Spudding was done in January 2023. There have been promising drilling outcomes, with 7 wells drilled in pads 2 and 3. Drilling operations, coring and on-site works are continuing, achieving total footage of approximately 23,000 meters. Other noticeable activities include a base station and permanent camp, solar turbine transportation, EPC 3-tank erection work, and EPC 4 pipeline trenching. SINOC will actively promote the LPG integration plan, which will gradually achieve the strategic transformation towards a green and low-carbon energy supplier. A camp integrated hydropower project has been set up, which will result in carbon dioxide emission reduction by 3,156 tons. SINOC has continued to contribute to the Belt and Road, people-to-people exchanges, enhancing China-Africa friendship and promoting the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. SINOC collaborates with various Ugandan universities to enhance graduate employment curriculum design and research. We have signed agreements with several institutions to support scientific research and develop talents in the oil and gas sector. SINOC, in collaboration with 5 other Chinese companies on the Kingfisher project, spearheaded a drive that led to the donation of $500,000 to upgrade the infrastructure of the Entebbe Welfare School. This is the largest donation to education in Uganda.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sport, I would like to extend my gratitude to SINOC Uganda Limited and the contractors of Kingfisher oil fields for your commitment to the cause of vulnerable and challenged children.
SINOC sponsors international scholarships, sending Ugandan students to study in China. Under this program, a total of 11 students have been sponsored and 8 have since graduated and are currently working in the oil and gas industry.
This scholarship to me is a dream come true. I always wanted to receive a first-class education from a good school, and SINOC has provided me with this opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
SINOC focuses on training and certification programs for skills needed in the oil and gas industry, which promotes local employment and strengthens Uganda's logistics and industrial capacity. Over 150 contractors and more than 3,000 individuals have been trained in various oil and gas skills. The company collaborates with local vocational schools to provide welder training, significantly contributing to Uganda's professional welding sector.
They took the initiative to sponsor us who are underdogs, and they want to put us somewhere. We thank them a lot. There's nothing much we can give them, but maybe use the skills properly so that they can also feel they have done some impact in the Uganda we have now.
SINOC Youth Employment Support Program has trained over 350 local youths in various vocational skills, improving their employability and living conditions. These trainings cover welding, heavy truck driving, heavy machinery operation, engineering construction, and other skills needed in the oil and gas field development, as well as driving, tailoring, and hairdressing, among others. SINOC invests in projects to improve community living standards, such as providing clean drinking water to over 13,000 residents in Buhuka flats, carrying out medical camps and building resettlement houses with modern amenities for 56 households. We have also invested $620,000 in maintaining critical roads and enhancing public safety. Livelihood restoration programs include donating livestock and teaching scientific breeding methods. We also work closely with the Confucius Institute of Makerere University, supporting events like the Chinese Bridge Competition and the Sound in My Heart Chinese Song Competition. SINOC also organizes activities to celebrate Chinese culture, such as the Spring Festival. These efforts enrich cultural communication and foster mutual understanding between China and Uganda.
SINOC Ugandan Limited is committed to education and capacity building to fulfill its vision of energy for Uganda.
The Kingfisher oil fields development has evolved, reaching some significant milestones after SINOC Uganda Limited and its joint venture partners signed the final investment decision. Land for the construction of different facilities was acquired and compensation was fully made. Cash and in-kind compensation, like resettlement houses for all families, were built and handed over to the project-affected persons. Construction commenced for different aspects of the project, leading to the development of facilities such as the camps, well pads, the central processing facility, and feeder lines, followed by the delivery of the rigs and installation. Spudding was done in January 2023. There have been promising drilling outcomes, with 7 wells drilled in pads 2 and 3. Drilling operations, coring and on-site works are continuing, achieving total footage of approximately 23,000 meters. Other noticeable activities include a base station and permanent camp, solar turbine transportation, EPC 3-tank erection work, and EPC 4 pipeline trenching. SINOC will actively promote the LPG integration.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you once again to the SINOC Online Enterprise Development Program, and this is the season of 2025. We started yesterday and we shall be here for the whole week, every day starting at 8 to midday. And we will have quite a number of consultants who will be here training us, lecturing us, teaching us about a number of issues. We shall be learning about marketing and branding. We shall be learning about health and safety. We shall be learning about business planning. And right here, since yesterday, we've been learning about quite a number of issues. For those who were here yesterday, you remember we learned about filing returns. We also got a recap of the tax amendment bill 2025, and here today we have also been learning